are coming back to the line, and after dominating all day, his crew out on pit road, Bill Elliott wins the 1985 Daytona 500. And Bill Elliott screams now for the checkered flag, and Elliott wins the Alabama 500 at Talladega. Look at that machine pass under the checkered flag. Bill Elliott is racing into the record books. Bill Elliott is going toward immortality. Bill Elliott gets the checkered flag. Bill Elliott has won an additional $1 million in 1985. Elliott moves to the high side, though, of Earnhardt. Bill Elliott is going to win. There has been a serious incident on pit road. As all of the front of the field came onto pit road, the Bill Elliott team was changing tires, and as they did, 2 members of their crew were injured. Now we're watching what happened. You can already see Mike Waltrip's car spun around 2 other cars. This is after it has come to a finish. We're down here with Dan Elliott, who was also injured just slightly in that. Dan, tell us what happened.
Don't know what happened. I came around the car, got my tire off, downed my tire, turned back around. I was putting the other one on, and people came across the top of me. I didn't know if a car hit them or a car hit our car, and it pushed me out of the way, and I fell on my shoulder and my leg, but other than that, I'm okay, but I couldn't see what happened.
Now enters turn number 4. Exiting turn number 4, Bill Elliott from Dawsonville, Georgia, wins the final Winston Cup race of 1987.
From all that happened the last couple of weeks, it really means a lot for us to come out and win this race.
On Tuesday, Elliott went to Dobbins Air Force Base near Marietta, Georgia, to film a public service announcement.
Winning on a NASCAR circuit takes dedication, teamwork, and a strong will to succeed. You'll find that same spirit in the Air Force Reserve. We've got a place for you on the winning team.
I wanted to ride in a military jet. I'd always because I had been flying for a long time or for several years, and I thought, man, that'd be great. And I actually been flying for about 10 years, so I thought, man, that'd be a cool thing to do. So finally I got to the right guy. So I go to Dobbins Air Force Base there outside of Atlanta. And the guy they brought in an F-16 from Hill Air Force Base out in Utah. And I guess the base commander or whoever the guy there thought, well, heck, we'll just make it we'll do combat maneuvers with you. So they got 2 F-15s that went out with us the day we went out with our F-16. So we go over toward Augusta, bulldog him away, and we start engaging at 2,500 feet, and they did 2 at 20. They were supposed to do 4 engagements, 2 at 2,500, and then, which they call those low levels, and then 2 at I think 14,000 or wherever we went to. So we started out there, and I mean it was no big deal. I mean they just the biggest thing about that stuff is you pull so many G's so long. So we did those couple of maneuvers. So then we climbed to 14,000, and I was looking down at it kind of had a screen of a heads-up display in the cockpit there, and I was kind of looking at it. And I saw one of the F-15s cross from left to right, and then I looked back down. When I looked back up, he was on top of us, like at about 2 o'clock, and I didn't know till I got the video out of our airplane that my guy tried to lock onto him, turned away, and then turned back. Yeah. But then we got on top, we were almost colliding, so my guy turns left. The other guy turns left and pulls up, and our right wing goes through the belly of his airplane and cuts, and it hits it. F-15's got 2 engines, so it cut into the fuselage and caught him on fire for the right engine of his airplane. Wow. So when he caught on fire, then he punched out. And then I'm looking at our damaged airplane.
Could you see all this? I mean, did you see him?
You couldn't focus on it.
Okay.
I mean, it happened so fast, literally so fast. I mean, hell, I'd run 200 miles an hour, and I'd never witnessed anything like I did. because by the time I looked up, the canopy comes down to your elbows. You're sitting in there. And I mean, it was like the world on top of you. I mean, all I can remember seeing the bottom of the airplane. And I really didn't know what I was looking at till after I saw the video. So I lost communication with the guy flying the airplane, and I saw he was trying to control the airplane, and it seemed like we had control. And he made a slow right-hand turn and came back around to where we had impacted, and there was a cloud of smoke. And then you could see the guy parachuting down, and the other F-15 was circling around him as he was parachuting down. So then the guy wrote me a note. He says, I'm going to try it in landing configuration. If we lose control, eject. And he had it underlined 3 or 4 times. And I thought, okay, yeah, right, okay.
And he passed this back to you?
Passed this back to me.
Holy cow.
So we're trucking along there, and I'm looking over at the airplane, and the part that I call a flap, it's called, I think, an aileron spoiler on that thing. You got the aileron on the outer board. Well, it's gone. All aileron's gone on the right side.
Oh, my goodness.
Then you got that flap, which is the aileron spoiler. It's turned straight up, and I look down the fuselage, and it's standing straight up at the back of the airplane. And I'm at the back of the wing. And I'm thinking, how in the world is this thing still flying?
Yeah.
So we get down low to the ground. It had 2 belly tanks. They eject the belly tanks. Or he tried. The one on the right side was so badly damaged it wouldn't come off. And I didn't know that. I couldn't see it because I was far back from the front of the wing. So we toot along there, and he slows down. He puts the gear down. I could see we had 3 green. I knew where the gear was down and locked, or I assumed. But then he started slowing down to about 180 knots. It wanted to break on the bad wing. So I knew that we had to be pretty fast. So, but anyway, we get kind of all sorted out there. And I'm telling you what, it was an eternity from the time we hit till the time we got back to the Air Force Base. And I didn't know if this guy knew where he was at or anything else because he was from out west. So when I saw Stone Mountain, I knew we were coming back to Dobbins, and we flew over Dobbins, and all the stuff's out there. The safety equipment, the ambulances, fire trucks.
Good night, man.
And I'm thinking, holy crap, this is big. Or this is going to be
This is going to be big.
Why, Charlotte was nothing compared to this, even Talladega. But anyway, we go around, come in, he lands at 200 knots, puts that thing on the ground, and we get out, and I mean, the base commander, whoever the guy there was, he chewed him out at one side down there because we had all the media there. It was supposed to be like a big deal. Bill Elliott riding in a, Air Force jet or whatever, and man, they took me in a room and they drilled me. They asked me, I wasn't flying, man. It was him.
So you had to debrief.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Did you really?
2 hours.
Wow.
And then we got in there and they said, well, we just need to emphasize nobody was hurt. The other guy broke his little finger when he punched out, and everything was okay and got back okay and all this stuff. I said, okay, I hear you. I know what to say.
Yeah.
So we got out and everything was all good. And I found out the funny thing, or it wasn't funny, I look back on it and it was like, man, you came within inches of dying that day.
Yeah.
I mean, just inches. I mean, and heck, you've done all this stuff all your life and hit walls and run into things and all the things you've ever done, and you've never witnessed anything like that. And, I get on the ground, I get out, and one of the guys looks at it and he says, I've never seen one come back that's tore up that bad. And I'm thinking, wow. Am I lucky or am I not lucky? How do I read this one? But I found out a year later my ejection seat was not charged. So even if the guy punched out, I'd have rode that thing to the ground.
Wow.
So somebody was looking after me that day. I don't know. And you thank the good Lord for a lot of days, but I don't know. You try to tell that story, and it's beyond belief.
And you didn't become a preacher that day or anything.
I thought about it, but